When all this title talk pops up about Arsenal, there are many different things Arsenal needs to get right on a game-by-game basis, and of course as a whole, to walk away with one or even more trophies this season. I've spoken about us needing to embrace the challenge and maybe not crumble mentally like we kind of have done over the past 3 seasons. And obviously, you know, the obvious stuff is also very important. You think about being solid defensively, of course, kind of like how we were at the beginning of the season, finishing our chances when we get them, which we've actually done pretty well, especially statistically, we've done that quite well. But all of that stuff, of course, is very important to seeing Arsenal finally get our hands on some silverware. But I thought about it, and I truly believe that if we had to look at one key part of our team, you know, that one key role we need to be near perfect in to get trophies, after I think throughout the season being pretty underwhelming in this section, although I think obviously all parts are very important, I truly believe we stand our best chance to win multiple trophies if this key part, this key role maximized. It helps our team when we're ticking over, and we are extremely hard to beat when this role is kind of thriving. And that role is the number 10 position. The midfield this season I think has been really strong. Zubimendi and Rice have a perfect balance there. If we can get the 10 position rotated correctly, use the correct player for the correct game, in this position, I truly believe in the 10 position, if we can maximize it to its full, I genuinely believe this Arsenal team is destined for silverware. But why do I think that? Well, that's exactly what we'll be talking about today. So what's going on, everyone? You are listening to Gunner Central here. I hope you're all doing well. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe if you guys haven't already, and let's get on with the video. Now, obviously, the 10 position has always been a crucial part of football. There's been times where it kind of fell away in importance, but I feel like it's extremely important, especially nowadays, to maximize your 10 position. It really helps the team offensively. It really helps the team in build-up play and holding the ball. And I think Arsenal have been really good in this position for a while now, and it wouldn't have been the thing I was thinking about us having to maximize this late on in the season this time last year. I thought we were really good last year in the 10 position, and the season before that, and the season before that. I mean, Ødegaard has basically had it as his position for a long time, and then you had Smith Rowe, you had Winieri there last season, we brought in Eze, so you were thinking that that 10 position is guaranteed to be always going to be a hit. And I feel like this season, both Eberechi Eze and Ødegaard have kind of had little bits of moments where you kind of wanting a bit more out of them in this 10 position. Now, I also believe that this 10 position, when it's maximized, it can be a huge reason why your attack can be so good. It can be a huge reason why you guys can also look so fluid when attacking. It can be a huge reason and a huge decider when you want to break down a team that's really compact. Think when they're sitting in a 4-5-1 and really compact in the middle, you need to be very tight in those lines. And number 10 is the kind of guy that can open up a game. And I think this season our attack hasn't been great. It's not been horrible, but it's, I would say, been lackluster. I think that's a fair thing to say about our attack. Yes, we're still scoring goals. I think we're second in the league in goals and assists. We're third in XG, so we're still scoring goals, but I don't think we've been as fluid as we should be. I think a lot of those goals come from a bit of scrappiness. They come from set pieces, which, I mean, is all fine by me, but these are things I'm just witnessing. And I think if we can maximize this 10 position, so say from now the end of February all the way through to the end of the season, I think it allows us another aspect to our game where, yes, we can score scrappy goals, yes, we can score set pieces, but if we can be more fluid in the attack and have this 10 position delivering killer pass after killer pass, it makes us even harder to beat, and it gives us yet another avenue to go down in certain games when we're going to need them, especially now at the back end of the season. But you know, when you're looking at Arsenal's stats for the season as a whole, again, second in goals and assists in the league, just behind Man City. There's nothing really wrong with that. It shows we're kind of good defensively to be sitting first in the league. But when you look at it, third in XG, you kind of want a bit more. But a stat I want to talk about that kind of maybe shows you guys what I'm saying about fluidity and maybe even lack of good chances created that usually the 10 is kind of responsible for, is when you look at our XG, we have overperformed our XG by 7.58 goals. So 7.5 goals essentially, minus that away from our total, and our point difference even looks a lot different. So what that is showing is that we actually have been really good at taking chances we likely probably shouldn't be taking. We're scoring goals that's very scrappy, that might be very difficult to score. But when you're overperforming your XG by 7.5, that shows me that you're having really good finishing, but maybe not as good chance creation for what the finishing deserves. It's a really good stat for strikers and for goal scorers. You think about Victor Gyökeres, it's a really good stat to have that you overperform your XG, but as a creative player, you'd like to see that not really happen. You want to see your XG kind of relate to what your goals have been. And that's where that creative issue comes in. And there's been games where I think Ødegaard just looked very flat. Yes, he's had his injury problems again this season, but he's looked very, very flat in games. Eze has obviously very much struggled, especially in the creative point. Even though we always kind of looked at Eze as a more, maybe a goal scoring 10, more than Ødegaard, who's almost a strict assist making 10. Even though I say that, Eze is really good at assists, and Ødegaard has had seasons where I think he had 15 goals in the Premier League one season. It's obviously not guaranteed, but you're kind of thinking with Ødegaard and with Eze, you're always going to have chance creation. That's not really going to be much of an issue. I feel like we've kind of had games where maybe our chance creation hasn't been as good as possible. And I really don't only blame that at the 10. Of course, we're a team. There's been times where wingers probably should have been crossing instead of shooting. There's a lot you can break in, but I really think if we can nail this 10 position. So Eze was an awesome choice against Spurs. He scored 2 goals, looked really good, looked very fluid, had a bit between his teeth. And there's been games where I think instead of Eze, we should have had Ødegaard and vice versa. If we can nail this 10 position, I really think it makes it a lot easier for us going forward, a lot easier for us in these title challenges. I think Saka in the 10 position obviously looked quite interesting. I don't think he was there by choice. I think it is more out of necessity, but even Saka in the 10 position, maybe against lesser opponents, isn't a bad option. Obviously, we've only seen a handful of games from Havertz, but I think Havertz in the 10 position alongside Gyökeres is an awesome watch. Both of them provide a lot of physicality. Havertz is really good running off Gyökeres. Gyökeres is really good running off Havertz. It's kind of like having a 2 up front a bit, and it's really nice to see when I saw Havertz there. For me, Havertz in a lot of games would actually be my first choice number 10 in certain games. But obviously, this is what's so cool about having a deep squad with a lot of different players. There's always room for debate on who you think the better 10 is and who you think the better 10 is for a certain game. I still think Ødegaard is really, really good player. I'm not too keen on selling him this summer, but obviously that's a conversation for another day. I still think Eze, we still have a bit to do to unlock him fully, but these games against Spurs kind of show that we can. There is definitely still a player there. Of course, we know this from his time at Palace. Saka as a 10 is also a decent option. Of course, Wanyeri going out on loan. I know a lot of people see that and they didn't agree with the decision. I did. I really did. He wasn't getting any minutes. He needed to get some first team minutes, and it's at a club like Marseille, who yes, have had their issues now recently, but I think it was a good choice to send Wanyeri out on loan. Mainly Ødegaard, Eze, and Havertz for me, not really Saka as a 10, but between those 3 specifically, I don't see why we can't have a really good 10 rotation. I don't mind if we have Ødegaard playing 3 games in a row if it's against the right opponents. I don't mind if Eze plays 3 games in a row if it's against the right opponents. So what I want to see from Arteta, of course, easier said than done, is I want to see the right selection. But I want to see that continuously now, and I want to see the choice be a bit better. And as for who should be the main number 10, that's exactly what I'm talking about now. I don't think there is a main number 10. I don't think we have to have a main number 10, especially with all these games coming up. Lots of different games, lots of different profiles team are going up against. Some might need a Havertz in the 10. Some might need Eze's goal scoring or kind of directness in the 10. Some might need Ødegaard's passing ability in the 10. But I really think we shouldn't have a main guy to go to. It should be chopped and changed based on the team and based on the team we're playing. I don't have a preferred number 10, so I wouldn't say who the main number 10 is either. But yeah, guys, well, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Who's been your favorite number 10 for us this season? And let me know if there's any other key areas you'd like to see Arsenal improve on or stay locked in on for the rest of the season. Let me know in the comments below. Please be sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you guys haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.